Hello, Taurus creators. Welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie, and I'm bringing you a timeless reading today. We're going to pull a card for your overall energy. Then we're going to look at your specific energies, the energies of the person or situation connected to you, and then how those energies mingle and dance in the middle. We'll close it off with a couple message cards for the Tauran Collective. Since these are timeless, please know that this reading has found you exactly when it should, and it is the time for you to receive these messages most auspiciously. These are general readings, so take only what resonates and leave the rest. Stay tuned at the end of the video, and I will talk a little bit more how to get involved in the creators community. Okay, Taurus, let's get your overall energy here from the Sacred Geometry of Relationships Oracle. Taurus, you got number 5, the 5th chakra. The energy of the throat chakra supports our ability to communicate clearly and truthfully. So communication is on the line here with this throat chakra, the blue energies there. As you all know, if you've been with me for a while, I have a very unique relationship to the chakras, having spontaneously transcended my chakra system, as I do believe it to be an overlay of energies that are already existing within us. But you can still work with it, whether you've transcended, you can still work with the energies that affect this area right here in the throat. And I almost feel like maybe there it is, the blue that I wore in the necklaces and all of this is somehow for you. It's somehow Taurus energy. I'm not surprised. You know, they like things that are going to make them feel good, going to make them feel comfortable. So we're going to work on opening up that throat energy a little bit. Let me get a little sip of my special juice here. This is a blend of orange ginger turmeric juice with a little bit of mineral water and a splash of coconut water too. It's yummy. Okay, Taurus, on your side you have the 9 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Wow. This energy to me feels like energy that you've been wanting to express yourself with and through for quite some time. I do feel like this might be an expressive energy that comes from you as a child or your inner child, possibly something that you could not communicate because you had to take a more cautious stance. Being young, you were in maybe an unsafe environment. This experience has possibly hardened you a little bit, maybe put you into some more of those stubborn Taurus energies when it comes to expressing yourself. But this Knight of Wands here, this is really interesting. This Knight of Wands is actually getting ready. She's prompted to go ahead and make a move. She's very calculated with her intentions and very grounded. And then we have the Ace of Swords here. There's something you're going to be talking about. There's something that's coming to light. This feels like a sort of truth to me. There is some truth that is being revealed. It's been in a deactive, shadowy basement of your soul for quite some time, and you're going back and you're igniting it. You're turning the machine on after years, and I really feel that you're going to have some sort of communication with someone that's really important. For the energy connected to you, there's a lot of 9s here I'm going to mention because you have the 9 of Wands. They have the 9 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, and the Judgment card. This person feels to me like they have accomplished things in life. They've put pieces of their life together. They've built something up that they could say they're proud of. It's interesting. They're showing the world kind of like, this is me, look what I've created, look what I've done. But there's this thread of ego in there that doesn't feel quite authentic, that doesn't feel very good. And with the Judgment card coming in for them, that feels like an energy that the universe is saying, hey, just be you, just be yourself, just take a moment to strip back all the layers. It's time for you to be vulnerable. It's time for you to atone. It's time for you to forgive. But I don't feel like this person's in that energy or is listening to the universe even. They're just kind of stuck in this, look at me, I have all the things, I've done all the things, everything's fine. But they're not really living a complete and full and truthful life. And I think that's something probably, Taurus, that bothers you about this person. In the middle of the connection, you have the Moon and the Queen of Wands. Looking at the progression of the energies, you having the Nine of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and then that would move into the Queen of Wands. I think that's kind of the energy you're bringing. And she don't look that happy. She looks like she's going to take that little horse whip thing here and probably get you with it. So she doesn't look that happy. So I can see why maybe you have held off in communicating whatever it is, because you're probably feeling like you're really going to lay it on to somebody here. But this relationship does not look like, to me, it feels estranged. It doesn't feel present to you at this time. It feels like it's clouded in shadow. I do think you want to make a decision about this. I do think you want to communicate about it. All the energy is coming up for that. But I don't know what you're going to meet with this other person here. So, interesting. Let's look at this Nine of Wands for you, Taurus, okay? So, why did you have to be cautious? Were you keeping secrets? Were there secrets that you knew that you weren't supposed to know? What is going on in this energy? The Knight of Cups and the Two of Swords. Yeah, I do think that you knew the truth about something. You knew in your body, you knew in your heart of hearts that something wasn't right. You're showing me the Two of Swords. You're showing me that you were very torn. This could have been a close relationship to you growing up, a family relationship. The Nine of Wands often speaks to ancestry. Could be looking at a grandparent or a parent here, or maybe even an older sibling. And darn it, I feel like your fun-loving child nature was really just to be loved, just be like a bubble of love. But you learned pretty quickly that you couldn't do that, and it closed you off. And I think it closed you off for quite some time. But let's look at this Nine of Wands, because this is the energy where I'm feeling that you might come out of it a bit and start to gain your strength. Oh yeah, you're showing me the Nine of Cups. Now, when I was looking at the Nine of Cups for this other person, remember I was getting that, look at what I've done, but it's from an egoic perspective. It's for something that feeds the ego, not the real person, right? But that protective layer of the ego, which has its function, it has its purpose. But I see you seeing beyond that and definitely this affected you in your ability to open up. It really did. I see you closing your heart off in several of these cards here, the Two of Swords and Nine of Cups. Whereas this person is like pretending like, no, everything's okay. But look, she's amongst a bunch of wines and spirits and ales, which represents to me you could have been dealing with someone in the family that had an addiction problem, a drinking problem. And the Justice card is here showing up. That's Libra energy. Could be dealing with a Libra, or the Libra energies in your chart are particularly important right now. As you lean into taking action with this Knight of Wands, as you make this decision, and it looks like you're prepped to do so, your goal is to bring truth and balance to the situation and to free your own heart so that you can open your arms up, but not like this person is doing, not in a showy way, not in like a let's get wasted way, but in a truthful, loving way, much more like your childhood. I just feel a bubbly, fun, loving child here in your energy. Maybe you have, for some of you, it's your inner child. For others of you, you have your own children that have sparked this in you. And you may have had to set some boundaries with some grandparents when it comes to your own children or something of that nature. I have these cards upside down here. Upside down and inside out for a minute there, Taurus. That may be what you felt like just all torn up inside for quite some years about this. With the Ace of Swords that you have, this is where I feel like your communication's coming through. You get the King of Pentacles. Yes, that's you showing up and saying, I need to say this. I need to express this. I need to do this. And you got the Tower. I don't care if it burns everything to the ground. I don't care if this relationship with this person who wants to maintain falsitudes and fakeness, I don't care if it burns to the ground, because my health, my person, my inner child, my children now don't deserve this generational crap. And that's what you're preparing to say if you haven't already. Some of you may have, and it may have had, been kind of like torn down. And I think you are estranged from this person, so it wasn't well received. They didn't want to look at it. They didn't want to do anything about it. But you know what? You got to free yourself in this case. You got to free yourself by expressing what you need to express. And then we're going to let the universe take the Tower from there, and they will work with this other person in whatever time this person needs it. And that all sounds fine and good, except you're connected to, on a soul level, from a familial level to this person. And this person looks like they created a lot of karma in the situation. For the Nine of Pentacles, they get the Seven of Pentacles and the Empress. Possibly when we could be looking at a mother here, or the maternal line, or a maternal grandmother here. I am seeing some nurturing energies at some point. I am seeing that motherly love and energy. I am seeing that in the lineage here somewhere. We might have to go a few cycles back to see it. This person in today's energy and in what you're dealing with this lifetime, their energy feels like they tried to build that, but they couldn't. Let's look at this Nine of Cups energy. This, look at me, look what I've done, yay, accolades, celebrate me, but not in an authentic way for this person. Yeah, there it is, the Three of Swords, pain, and the Hierophant. This person, honestly, this is quite clear in the sense it's very practically speaking. This is a person with an addiction who is like, with this Hierophant here, is like a born-again Christian. That's what this energy feels like. Too much pain, too much damage from the addiction that they latched on to becoming a born-again Christian because it's what is available to them. Now, when we pull back the veil of Christianity, and I've talked about this in my Real Life Mages podcast that's on my channel, I've brought up different angles of this. I myself grew up in a religious background, in a Christian background. But when we pull back the veil of all the world's religions, there's so much more going on underneath the surface, and the pure essence of what those things would purport to be the ambassadors of is actually just a tiny part. They've taken the essence of truth, which you're showing me over here, that you know that with that Justice card, and there's these little pearls of truth in those establishments, in those religious establishments, which is how they get people's psyches hooked onto it. And then there's the conditioning, and they're born into it, right? And some of the solutions around addictions are turn to God, turn to Christ. But I'd just like to mention that's not the only way. And in this particular case, this person is still carrying the pain body around. So this religious piousness that they have is distasteful because they're coming from a place of pain, not true healing, because they've turned over the power they had to make the responsible choices. And the responsible choice would be to face this pain body through years of therapy and supportive environments, right? And deal with that. And they've sacrificed that to giving it over to something outside themselves. And that's what I'm seeing here. I'm just going to call it like I see it. I don't have anything against Christians or any other religion. I have my own experience with it. I think everybody has their own paths with it. This may just be this person's path, this go around. I don't know how relatable that is to you though, Taurus. It definitely seems different from your path, and you're definitely showing me the fortitude and the power behind wanting to express this and be in alignment with the truth and not with something that's a false overlay or a little bit of truth and wisdom masked by all this crap and falseness, right? And control. You're not into that. Oh, woof. Taurus, for the Judgment card, and I knew it, this person got the Judgment card again and the Page of Wands. Remember I said the universe would take the Tower over and just, you're going to have to let them deal with it. You need to speak your piece. You need to speak your voice. You need to speak your mind. You need to communicate this. You need to share it. I think your story, I'm getting more and more fired up as I talk about it. I think your story will be helpful and healing to people, like your actual story. You may want to write a book about it. You may want to write some poetry about it. You may want to do something to share it and express it. At the end of this day, this person has to come to understand this. They have to come to this calling of the truth, okay? They're being called to the truth at some point here, whether they like it or not. They do show me a little spark of curiosity about that. But with them carrying around the pain and the ego that's running the show here, because the whole time the ego has remained very active trying to protect them in these different roles that they're showing me. But the universe is saying, no, you will be called to atone and ask for forgiveness on this. This really feels like one of those relationships that the way that you actually have power over bringing balance is just to communicate your voice and do your best to disconnect from what the outcome of that would be or what their response would be. Because with the Page being here, the Page of Wands, that's a younger energy. I think you're dealing with a younger soul for sure. This person's a younger soul than you, even if they were older, like a parent or a grandparent. For the Moon in the connection, you bring in the Wheel of Fortune. They bring in the Ace of Cups. All right, so on some level here, we're finally getting to some of the deeper levels of contrast. This person has love to offer, but when you're dealing with amount of pain and healing that is needed, that hasn't been done, and you're externalizing your responsibility, your power, your accountability to an external source for forgiveness, instead of forgiving yourself and then asking for forgiveness from others yourself, I don't know that that Ace of Cups is really a full cup that you would take advantage of. You're showing me the Wheel of Fortune, Taurus. That's your energy. Fixed sign energies are in there. You're in the corner of the wheel. And I think this is turning you right back to yourself. I don't see you necessarily right now or even this lifetime maybe reestablishing this connection with the person. There is a little bit of hope there. I'm not going to say it's not, but I'm thinking like 10%. They have some work to do. They have some work to do on their soul, on their very soul. And some of you got caught in the crossfire here with them when you were a kid. For the Queen of Wands, you bring in the energy of the Hanged Man, and there they are with the Nine of Pentacles again. I'll just go back to business as usual. Look what I've created. Look what I've done. Look how far I've come. Give me accolades. Give me credit. Give me celebration over here. I've never felt a more cringeful energy connected to the Nine of Pentacles as I do in this particular spread. But you're saying the Hanged Man. No, I will return myself to the tree of life where I am connected with everyone and everything in the universe. And I will spend time with myself there until I gain the wisdom and illumination about this situation that I need. Honestly, Taurus, in the mingled energies here, it feels like part of your communication is pulling you away from this person even farther. So I already feel the estrangement, but something needs to be said. And it feels like when you express it, when you say it, regardless of their reaction, regardless of how they choose to interpret it or anything they might say about you, this is a return to yourself. You're actually the older soul in this connection. Taurus, we're going to pull some messages from the Divine Essential Counterparts Oracle. Now, when it comes to message cards, they may or may not have to do with this particular relationship that I've just read. And I think some of you are going, oh, thank goodness, maybe it'll be unrelated to that. It'll be whatever it's meant to be. But these could be messages from your greater being to you, from the universe to you. They could be things that you need to say or would like to share with someone else. They could be about a person unconnected to this particular reading today. So I'm going to have you trust your own intuition and inner guidance to position these messages properly here for yourself. The first one is, I run from love because I don't think I deserve it. This energy feels like it could pertain to the relationship that I've read here. And that's where that judgment card energy comes in. Forgiveness, atonement, accepting responsibility. See, that's one of the key things people don't get. When you've wronged someone or many someones, you have to accept responsibility for that at a soul level. And until you do that, once you get it at the soul level, the mental, the emotional, the physical bodies, everything else falls into place. They have to get it at that soul level. And then you got crown chakra. So we have the throat chakra and then the crown, the seventh chakra, shutting out the divine, ignoring intuition. Be sure to meditate, breathe, practice yoga and other mindfulness practices to deepen your connection. And that's you to you. That's you to you, Taurus. Reconnect with the I am presence and ask your guides for assistance. Trust. To me, this feels like a greater message from the universe for you. Letting you know you're not alone. Letting you know that you have tribe. Letting you know that you can live a full and mindful life regardless of what happened in this relationship with this other person. So Taurus, kind of a tough reading, but you're also one tough bull. So I would like to remind you, I'm live here on the channel for Frequency Friday, every Friday from 10 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. Be sure to check that out. I do collective messages and different themes each week. It's a lot of fun. It's high vibing, and we just have a good old time. Drop in. Drop a comment. If you missed the live, the replay will be up with timestamps for convenience. I'm here every other Sunday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time doing live Q&A. You pop in, like the video, pop into the live chat, drop your question, your theme, or what you would like me to pull cards on, and I give you a little mini reading. We have a great community there. It's a ton of fun. I just power hour that hour. I pack in as much as I can. Sometimes I miss folks at the end, so the early bird catches the worm, so to speak. If you missed anything, be sure to check out the description below. I have links to personal readings that are available. Make sure you're connected with me on Instagram and Facebook at Creators on the Crest. In my stories on Instagram and Facebook, you will see when I run specials. I do seasonal specials from time to time. It's definitely worth going there, especially if you're strapped for a little bit of cash and you just want to get that quick energy boost. I will explain all of that in those platforms for you. So be sure to tune into that. Like, share, subscribe, bring a friend on board. If you've got a like-minded, like-hearted person, grassroots are the best roots. I want people like you who enjoy and resonate with these readings to come in and enjoy being part of the creators community. So go ahead and don't hesitate to bring them on board. Taurus, it has been an absolute pleasure to look into these energies for you. I wish you all of the strength and tenacity and bravery and courage that you need to continue down your path of speaking your truth. And I look forward to seeing you next time.